Hi, it's Susan here from Making Craft Studio and welcome to the Ranger Ink channel. Today I'm going to share with you how I created this card using some of the new Make It stencils and stamps, as well as how I created this bubble background. Here are the items that I used to create today's card. So I'm going to be using the Fun with Fruit Make It stamp set, and this is a new stamp set by Ranger. I'm also going to be using the Make It Slanted stencil. And then I'll also be using the Make It Bubble Mix stencil. I'll also be using the Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock. And then I'm going to be using several archival inks. So I'm going to be using Wine Cellar, Best Dressed, Jet Black, and Avocado Toast. Then I'm also going to be using the Clear Perfect Medium. And with that, I'm going to be using the Perfect Pearls, the blue hydrangea. And then I have a number 9 paintbrush from Ranger that I use with the Perfect Pearls. So I've gone ahead and stamped out some of the cherries. I'm not sure how many I want to use in my card. I'm thinking 3, but we'll see when I get the card created. So I wanted to show you with the last set of cherries how I stamped them. And so this is a 2-part stamp set. So what that means is you have your outline and then you have the inside of your image. So there is no coloring, you stamp it all. So what I like to do with the cherries is I look and make sure that I'm only getting my ink pad, my green, on the leaf and down the stems. And then I'll come back in with the Wine Cellar and I do lean over to the side. You can't see that in the video, but I just want to make sure that my stamp pad stays on the cherries, or just a little bit going up the stem of the cherries is okay as well. And then I'll stamp that. And I really love how these stamp. I think they're so pretty. I actually think the cherries look just as pretty without the outline, but for today's card, I want to use the outline. Certain projects you would not have to use the outline. So then you just lay your outline stamp on top of the image, just lining it all up. Now, don't worry about getting it perfect. If you off-center it just a little bit, it actually looks really good as well. And so you'll see with this one, I do get it off just a little bit, so there's a little bit of extra white there, but I don't have a problem with that. I think it looks good either way. Now, I did fussy cut these out just your normal fussy cut way, but I wanted to show you a trick that I do when I need to get to the inside of something like this. So I'm just going to come around this cherry here, and I'm just going to follow the outline of the cherry. And then when I get to the white space, I'm leaving a little bit of white everywhere that I cut, so it kind of looks like you've die cut it out. So I'm just going to go inside here and just cut out a little triangle, just trying to leave about the same amount of white on each stem. And then I'll finish fussy cutting this out just like you would any other stamped image. But I like that little trick to cut those apart so I can get to that inside part. It's so much easier. And when you glue these cherries back down onto your card, you'll never know that we cut those apart. Okay, so for the next thing, I want to go ahead and stamp out my sentiment. So I'm stamping the You're So Sweet onto a piece of white cardstock. So this cardstock measures 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. It's going to go across my card. And I wanted to go ahead and stamp that sentiment using the Best Dress, and that's really a deep blue, deep navy color. Sometimes on screen it looks a little black, but it is a navy. And so I want to stencil this piece, but I went ahead and stamped it because I want to be sure that I pay attention to where I stencil so I don't cover up my wording. So I'm just going to tape this down. You can see I went ahead and I stamped it one time on the back and I pressed too hard and I didn't think the wording looked crisp enough, so I just re-stamped it. So you can always flip your paper over. You don't have to waste if you make a little mistake like that, because you never see it when you turn it back over. This stark white cardstock is so thick that you can't see through it if you need to flip it if you make a mistake. So now I'm just going to tape it down onto a piece of scrap paper. And then you can see here I've already been using this stencil because I created one already, but I tried a different technique with it, and I'll show you that in a moment, but I didn't really like how it looked, so I'm just going to create another one with you, showing you a better way, I think, to do it. Well, I'll show you the other one in the end as well. So I'm just going to come in with the Best Dressed navy ink, and I'm just going to fill in my slanted stencil But when I get close to my wording, I'm not going to press down as hard onto the ink pad. I'm just going to lightly tap it onto the stencil here. So I'm getting a lighter image near the sentiment. So you can see here, I'm not pressing as hard. And so I want to get that dark blue all the way around it, but lightly get a little blue near the wording so that it kind of stands out, so that it doesn't get hidden with all of this stenciling. So I'm just going to work my way around. Now with this stencil, I do find that you need to hold it down near the wherever you're stenciling so that the strips do not move. Now I'm going to flip this stencil to the side and I'm going to make a pattern. So I'm making a plaid pattern onto my paper, and that's what's great about this stencil. You could keep moving it different ways and create so many different looks. So I'm coming back in with that Best Dressed blue again, but once again, I'm really trying to pay attention when I get close to my sentiment that I don't add a lot of ink near my sentiment. That way, the sentiment is highlighted and it's just lighter and it will stand out. Now, originally when I created this piece, I went ahead and stamped the sentiment and I clear embossed it because I thought it would help it to stand out. And then I inked it. Well, when I did ink the stripes, even though I had that clear embossing, it just got lost in the design. So that's why I came back and I decided I am trying to make it dark all the way around it, but just across the sentiment, I'm making it lighter so that you can see here, the sentiment really stands out. So I do see a few spots. I want to go ahead back to the bottom here and just add a little bit more because you can see there just wasn't enough of the line showing there. So I kind of want to be sure that I have my cross design on the paper, but like just a little bit of lighter around the wording. And I'll show you here the difference. And I think in person you can see it so much better than you can on camera too. I think the camera, it's a little harder to see, but you can see here, you can see You're So Sweet. And this one, you can see I really liked it, but it was just so hard to read the You're So Sweet. So that's why if you just go a little lighter around the sentiment, then it works just fine. I really enjoy making my own paper and making my own plaid with these stencils. So now let's create the background for our card. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of scrap paper and I've taped it down, and then I'm bringing in a piece of navy cardstock, and I'm just going to tape it down using some Dina Wakley mixed media tape. And so this tape will not tear your paper. It holds it down, but it's an easy release so that you can remove it without having any tears on your paper. So I'm bringing in the bubble mix stencil and I'm just going to lay that on top of my cardstock, and I will tape that down around the edges a little bit just so it doesn't move, because we've got our navy card base where it's not going to move, and then I just don't want the stencil to move. Now you want to be careful when you're taping it down. So you can see here, you don't want the tape to overlap any, because then, it would have covered up that circle. So I'm going to bring in the clear perfect medium for the perfect pearls. And I know on camera it's really hard to see, and even when you're doing this, it's hard to see. But close up, you can see that where I am filling in, I can see that the paper looks wet or a little bit darker than it does where I have not filled in. So I'm just going to take the perfect medium and I'm just going to, it's almost like ink blending, or it's actually the same as ink blending. You're just blending it in to your stencil. So the reveal, you can see all of the bubbles all over the background. So now I'm going to bring in the blue hydrangea, and I'm also going to bring in my number 9 paintbrush, and I'm just going to start adding the powder. So what I like to do is just add the powder down and work in a circular motion around my paper. And so I just work that in until I run out of the powder, and then I go back and get a little bit more powder and just keep working it in. And that is so much fun when you start adding the powder and the reveal of all that sparkling color. So the Perfect Pearls comes in tons of colors, and I tried several different ones for this card, but today I settled on the blue with the navy background. I thought that looked really good with today's card. So I really love the sparkle that it gives to your card. So I'm just, once again, just working it all in the circular motion, and you'll see I'll take any of the extra that I have at the top here, and I'll try to work it down to the bottom and work it into those little bubbles that don't have any color yet. and then I'll just keep adding powder till all of the bubbles are filled in. And it's just like magic. When you start adding it, it's just so glittery on your paper. But it's not actual glitter, it just has a glittery look to it. So I'm just going to work all of these in. Now once I have all of the Perfect Pearls powder mixed in, and I feel like I filled in my stencil really good, I'm just going around and wiping it off, just trying to clean off. So before you set this, you want to just take your brush. Now I'm just lightly brushing. So I'm not brushing as hard as I was when I was, pushing the pearls into the paper. I'm just lightly brushing it off just to remove any of those excess Perfect Pearls powder that is in between my bubbles, because you really want your paper to show through there and not keep it blended onto your paper. So I just wipe it off, and then I'm bringing in some water in a little spray bottle, and I'm just going to wet all of that so that I can set the Perfect Pearls. So your Perfect Pearls is set once you add the water. It's not set until you add the water, so you just need to spritz a little water on it so that it can set, and then it will not rub off, and you'll have a metallic-y, kind of sparkly look. Now, if you are in a hurry, you can use your heat tool to dry it. I've never held it on there long. I don't know if it would affect it, but if you just heat it up just a little, just to get that little bit of water that you added, because you don't want to soak it. You just need to get all of the Perfect Pearls wet, but not soaking. So you don't have to add a lot of water. So it doesn't take a lot to dry it. And as you can see here, as it is drying, you can see all that shimmer in the background, and I really love it, especially with this bubble stencil. I think it looks so pretty. And so it will be a little warped when you get through drying it, just like any paper. But once it's dry, be sure it's dry before you do this. You can just run your finger over it and straighten it out. And just look at all that shimmer there. Isn't that gorgeous? You just created your own beautiful paper. So now I'm going to create a little bit more paper for a background. So I'm bringing in the wine cellar again. I want it to match the cherries that I stamped out. So I'm just going to use that to create some red paper. Now I'm not going to fill in this whole background piece because you're not going to see it. We're going to put that bubbles background on top of it. So I'm just adding enough of the wine cellar around the edges just to get a red look for our trim around our bubbles. So then I'm just going to work my way around this piece, and I'm just going to try to get an even color all the way around. Now, once again, I'm not worried about the middle, but around all the edges, I want the color to be even so it just looks like a piece of red cardstock. But by doing this, you can match the inks in your stamping perfectly. So any color that you stamp with, you could come back and do the same thing with your inks. And I find that Archival Ink blends really well onto the Simon Hurley cardstock. And so as your ink blended, sometimes it doesn't look as smooth, but if you just give it a moment, it feels like it just, once it settles in, it all looks really nice and blended. So you just want to work it in and then just give it a moment to just dry, and it'll all look beautiful. So I'm going to do that also to another strip that's going to go behind our plaid strip. So I'm just going to do the edges on it as well. I did start out on the end there, but then I realized the end's not going to show. I just cut it the same length as the plaid, but just a little wider. So I had forgotten that, so I'm just inking around the edges on it as well and doing the exact same thing as I did for the larger piece. Once again, you can see here that the middle I'm leaving white because it's not necessary to fill it in. If it bothers you, fill it in, but we're going to glue paper on top of it, so I do not waste the time or supplies to fill it in. Okay, so now it's just time to layer our card up. I am using a white card base for this, and then I'm just going to glue down my red piece of paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to layer the bubbles on top of the red piece of paper. And I just love these bubbles. And you can get so many designs with all of the new stencils, the new Make It stencils. There's so many different designs you could come up with using this technique. Okay, so then I'm just going to layer my red strip. I made it just a little wider than the plaid piece, but you could do this in any size card that you want to create it. I realized here on the end I needed to add a little red, so I'm adding a little red after I added the glue, and then I had an oopsie, but thank goodness it's going to go on top of that anyway. So I'm just going to put this strip across the middle. And I did just cut it the same length because you can see the red around the edges there. And so I thought it looked good to do it that way instead of having extra of this strip. And then I'm just going to glue the plaid strip on top and just make sure that I center it up from top to bottom onto the red strip. And I did go ahead and stamp out another one of the fruits. So this fruit could be a lemon, it could be a lime, it could be anything, an orange slice, whatever you wanted to make it. So I stamped it out in green. I felt like I need a little bit more green on here to go with these leaves. So I just stamped it out with the green, and I did the 2 stamping step again to fill it in so there was no coloring needed. And then I'm just going to layer it with the cherries. And I decided not to use the other cherries that I stamped. I decided to just put this one set of cherries along with this little lime, I guess we could call it. And I thought it looked really good together. So here is our completed card. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing me create this card. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And also don't forget to subscribe to the Ranger channel so that you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.